Yeah, go Dovie.
Watch where you point that thing.
Hi, I'm Dovie, and I am a rising sophomore at SAR High School. And as Joe mentioned, my project is automation with Alexa, and more specifically, this particular project over here is using Alexa to fire a Nerf blaster. So, you know, I did this kind of, like the whole automation with Alexa thing, I did because I really was kind of intrigued by the idea of a smart home and the idea that you don't really need anything physical in your home. You can just have everything done via the internet, and Alexa can definitely do that. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of play around with that. So I guess I'll just show you how this one works. Alexa, trigger the blaster to fire. Yeah, that's a fun little deal. And so the general idea of how this works is that once I give my command to Alexa, you might have heard it said, sending that to IFT, which is a program that stands for if this then that. It's an internet program that allows you to just connect up different internet programs through the cloud. So if then gets this command from Alexa, and it sends it to yet another program called Particle, which is the program that runs my microcontroller, which is just basically a mini computer. And so then this microcontroller gets this command, and it can then control the motors that are inside of the blaster through something called an H-bridge, which is just, again, a fancy way of controlling motors via a microcontroller. So kind of like my biggest problem that I had while I was trying to build this was getting my microcontroller to actually communicate and run the motors. So originally my idea was actually not to use an H-bridge, but to use transistors, which basically either allow or deny current based on what a microcontroller says. And the transistors were just being very finicky. They weren't really doing what I wanted. And after like 4 days, I decided to trash them completely. And I turned to an H-bridge, which ended up working. So yeah, my time at BlueStamp was kind of split into two different types of days. Ones where I would come home and be really, you know, kind of like defeated or pissed because I didn't get to do anything. I didn't feel like I made any progress. And I'm just kind of sitting there with a problem and I don't really know what I'm doing. And everything's just horrible. And then the other days are the ones where I come home very happy because I just figured out this really hard problem that was giving me a lot of trouble, but I finally figured out and everything's awesome and life's great and all that stuff. So BlueStamp has kind of like taught me some perseverance to kind of stick with the problem until it's solved, and eventually you'll figure it out. Like I never really actually expected to finish this, but in the end I did manage to get it working, as you said. So, yeah. Any questions?
So what kind of motors are there?
Just motors. I mean, they're not like any super special kind of motors. It's just two motors up over here that basically grip the darts and fling them out, and then one motor inside of here, which runs a conveyor belt system to feed the darts inside of the other two motors. So, yeah, that's how it works.
Awesome. Can I add this on my Alexa?
With a few hours of work, yeah. Maybe a week.
So with this, the way that you configure the motors, would that work with any Nerf gun, or is it specific to this one?
Any Nerf gun that has that configuration of motors. There are some Nerf guns that are air-powered as opposed to motor-powered, so that one would be a very different system involving a lot more mechanical parts.